a team that ruled the world with their famous tiki-taka 12 years ago, has now dominated Europe with a completely new style. A style where you would see more long balls, rotations, and an unbreakable team chemistry. A chemistry that showcases the creativity of Jamal Williams, technicality of Ruiz Cucurella, and the physicality of Rodri Carvajal, which not only increases their attacking threats, but also forces even top sides to sit deep and defend all the time. And led by an unknown manager and young players, their new tactics dominated almost all the winning favorites to claim the trophy. So what exactly are these new tactics of Spain that made this possible? And how they are reducing their reliance on tiki-taka? Let's discuss in this video. From year 2008 to 2012, Spain was the epicenter of the tiki-taka philosophy, with players like Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets brilliantly implementing this style, in which their ability to maintain close proximity and creating opportunities through intricate passing patterns became Spain's main hallmark. However, the last few years have witnessed a significant evolution in Spain's tactics, as they slowly transitioned from the traditional tiki-taka to a more dynamic and adaptable style of play, where you would see them playing more direct passes, having more ball-carrying dribblers, and shifted their focus from central creations to now relying more on the wider routes, which eventually allowed Spain to maintain their competitive edge in international tournaments. And speaking about their recent tournament, Spain typically set up in a 4-3-3 formation with a maximum width using their wide wingers. However, this setup was far from static, as during the build-up phase, you would see the left center mid dropping back to form a second pivot, while the right midfielder playing more advanced as a shadow 10. And instead of building up with their usual short passes, Spain now employs a unique mixture of long ball and one-touch football simultaneously. For example, if the opposition overloads Spain with high pressing, then they respond by splitting the center-backs wide and allow the keeper to step up, while their pivots and full-backs also drop back to eventually create a 3+4 shape. This setup helps attract the opposition's lines even further forward, which then allows Spain to target the space between the second and third line using long balls. And just before launching their direct pass, Spain's front four then prepares to initiate strategies to beat the last line, where the striker drops deeper to be the first receiver of the ball, and immediately after receiving it, he makes a second touch to the shadow number 10 in front of him. And due to his deep movement, it creates open space for their talented wingers to invert and quickly receive the third touch to roam directly into the clear space. So even while using long balls, Spain immediately applies third-man combinations straight after it. However, if the opposition doesn't engage with this overload and maintains their zonal markings, it becomes harder for Spain to target these lines. So in such cases, Spain employs a clever method of long ball counter-pressing, where they place their front four close to the back line and hit a long ball towards them, and if the opposition manages to receive it, then Spain intensely activates their counter-pressing with their front line, where they try to block all passing angles forward and forces them to go back or sideways. And if they manages to make a forward pass to the second line, then the players involved in the build-up also counter-press from behind. So this method significantly helps them to win the ball back in higher areas and allow them to easily counter-attack the opposition's vulnerable backline. However, apart from using direct approaches, Spain also employs short routes using the same build-up shape, in which they try to create three-man triangles on the wider areas of the pitch. So even if the opposition presses them with their entire front line, Spain eventually moves the ball wider, where they can achieve a 3+2 superiority against them, and then use third-man combinations to easily progress the ball into the second phase.